How to attract frogs and frog spawn to your pond by UK Amphibians and all things wildlife. First of all, you need to create a wildlife pond. Unfortunately, not everyone has a large garden, so if you only have a small space, you could create a small pond area. But the larger the better in creating your ponds. This is our pond in the video. It has a built-in hibernaculum where all the amphibians and reptiles and wildlife can hibernate in overwinter. We have a video which you can watch on another day. Just search part 1 in our video section where it shows you the complete pond build and its hibernaculum. Right, let's get back to attracting amphibians and reptiles to the pond. You can buy pond liner cheap enough online. I'd recommend Joel Ashton at wildyourgarden.com as he has some great products. Not only does he sell plants, he sells loads of pond liner, he sells wildflower seeds, bird seeds, so everything you need to create your own perfect wildlife habitat in your garden too. This pond here I started to build back end of November 2020 and finished in January 2021, and it's already attracting plenty of wildlife. The tip is, once the pond is created, to add plenty of pond plants for all the amphibians, frogs, toads, newts to hide in and feel safe from predators. Also, the pond plants will create plenty of oxygen in your pond and also provide great egg laying areas for your frogs, toads, newts and also other pond life to lay their eggs in. You will also need to plant plenty of plants around your pond to attract plenty of insects, which will help feed your amphibians and reptiles throughout the year. Make sure you get plenty of pollinator plants and ones that flower at different times of the year too. So the first year we were lucky enough to get some frog spawn in our pond in year 1. We did help with this by creating the perfect habitat, as I will discuss in the video. Give you some helps and tips and advice on how to attract frogs and other amphibians to your garden. If you can create plenty of log piles and a hibernaculum in your garden, in fact, if you can create more than one and spread them around your garden, this will really help for all your amphibians, which will help them be able to hide in throughout the day, and then when the winter time comes, they will be able to hibernate in them too. Compost heaps are brilliant for your garden too. These also can help your amphibians hibernate in overwinter, but also they will provide plenty of food for your amphibians to eat throughout the day, where they will hide there throughout the day, and then at night time, where amphibians are most active, will come out and probably go back into your pond throughout the night. This is our second year in our wildlife pond. As you can see, there's a lot more frog spawn this year. There's a lot more frogs, newts and toads in our pond, but you mainly spot these at night. So let's go back to attracting frogs in our pond and amphibians. First of all, you need to create a pond. The larger the better, but if you've got some sort of water in your garden, it could still attract amphibians to it. You will need to create hibernaculum areas in your garden. As I said earlier, you need plenty of pond plants in your pond for all the amphibians to lay their eggs on, and create oxygen in your pond for when the tadpoles hatch, and also plenty of compost heaps in your garden so they can all hide in there over winter and use them as a hibernaculum. Plenty, and I mean plenty, of plants all around your garden, all around your edges of your pond, to attract all the insects which the amphibians will eat throughout the year. Also, once the tadpoles morph into froglets or toadlets or baby newts, there are plenty of food around the edges of a pond to eat, then grow larger for the following years to come back and breed. Now, my personal tip on getting more and more frogs to come back every year would be to, once the frogs have laid the frog spawn, I get a small few clumps of frog spawn and raise them in separate tubs. The reason why I do this is because I get a better hatch rate and it saves them from a lot of predators. Predators in your pond will be things like newts, which eat frog spawn and eat tadpoles. Also, dragonfly larvae, water boatmen. There's quite a lot to name which will eat away at your frog spawn and your toads in your pond. So if you leave them in the pond, you will have a lot less tadpoles by the time they come to morph into toads or froglets or baby newts. By raising more froglets, toadlets, newts to come out of your pond in the first year, it will help create more that can come back and maybe survive and come back in the following few years' time to breed. Then that way it will keep up the life cycle better and you will have more frog spawn the following year, as I have in my pond. As mentioned before, the frog tadpoles that we grow on in our tubs in the garden, when they are a lot larger, the tadpoles, we put them back into the original pond where the frog spawn was laid. This way the tadpoles have a better survival rate, as the tadpoles are a lot larger and the newts will struggle to eat them and leave them alone. We have to add the tadpoles back to the original pond because this is the pond they will return back to every year. But we also must stress, please don't take any frogs or frog spawn from the wild, as you could destroy their habitat and also bring in disease to your pond. Also, by adding frogs from any other pond, they won't stay in your pond. They will try to return to the original pond they came from. As you can see, the pond plants do well, as the newt is laying the eggs on them in the video. This newt is a female palmate newt. As you can see, after 2 years, our pond is attracting frogs. This one at the top is a male frog, and the one we're just zooming into now, that is a male toad, common toad, buffo. We are very lucky to be getting all these amphibians in our pond this year, but it's all down to all the tips I have told you, which will help 100% to bring your pond to life with all the amphibians for many more years to come. Here we have in our pond 2 breeding pairs of common frogs. Make that 3 breeding pairs in our pond. To be honest, there's a lot more than just the 3. If you see, we've already had quite a few pairs spawn with the Frogspawn, and there's still plenty more to come with all the breeding pairs of frogs in our pond. And this just started with a few frogs coming, spawning one night, and then obviously we raise the tadpoles, as mentioned, in some tubs and also in the ponds, and then after a few more years the baby froglets have come back as adults to breed in our pond. So let's give you a quick reminder on how to attract frogs to your pond. Number 1, build a pond. Number 2, create habitats like a hibernaculum in your garden. Number 3, make sure you have plenty of pond plants. Number 4, make sure you plant plenty of plants all around your pond and garden, and you need different plants which flower at different times of the year to attract insects for the amphibians to eat on. Number 5, make plenty of compost heaps. Number 6, try raise some frog spawn in tubs, then put the tadpoles back in the same pond when the tadpoles are a lot larger. Number 7, I must stress, please don't take any frog spawn or frogs from the wild, as this will destroy their habitat, and also the adult frogs will not stay in your pond. They will try to go back to the original pond they came from. By creating the perfect habitat as mentioned earlier, the frogs will appear themselves. You won't need to take any from the wild, so just have to be patient and the frogs will come. As they say, build it and they will come. If there's anything you're not sure on, please leave us a message in the comments section below and we will be happy to help. We also have plenty of more videos on our channel where we show you the pond and its plants and amphibians and wildlife throughout the year. So if you click the subscribe button, you will be notified when the next video comes out. Thanks for watching everyone. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to UK Amphibians and all things wildlife.